In last class, we have discussed high-low method with the simulation analysis. Then we discussed learning curve theory, and we have discussed all the three situations of the learning curve. What is the tabular approach, how to calculate the number of average hours and total hours for any specific activity level, and then how to calculate the learning curve rate. And we also solved some MCQs which were covering all the uh, aspects of the learning curve. I am continuing with the same chapter, which is called quantitative analysis and budgeting, or it is called quantitative aids in budgeting, or it is called quantitative techniques. We have already discussed two topics from this chapter. I just want to do remaining 3 to 4 MCQs, which are relevant with the correlation, indexation, or seasonal variation. After completion of these MCQs, we will move on to the next topic or next question, which is relevant with the pricing. It is covering the pricing and as well as learning curve theory. So next question is 166. It is relevant with the forecasting of sales. Here we will use an equation which is called y is equal to a plus bx. First of all, you need to understand this equation y is equal to a plus bx. Y is equal to a plus bx. What does it mean? Whenever we use the word of y stands for total. It could be total overheads, it could be total sales revenue, it could be total sales units. Total of any activity level or total of any specific thing is denoted by Y. A is always called fixed. A is called what? Fixed. Or we use another word for A, which is called intercept. So in any MCQ, if he says that intercept value is 10,000, it means he is saying fixed portion. Now it could be fixed cost or fixed overhead. It could be like fixed sales revenue. It could be like fixed sales units. So this is called what? This is called fixed or intercept. Fixed or intercept is denoted by A. Then we have B. B always denotes whom? B always denotes variable portion. It could be variable cost per unit. It could be like variable sales per $1, which we discussed in the last class. It could be variable sales for any specific time period, like variable sales per month, variable sales per quarter, variable sales per year. V denotes variable. And X is called what? X is called activity level. So whenever we are using the word activity level, it means activity level is denoted by X. So this is called Y is equal to A plus BX. Once again, I am going to repeat this formula. Whenever you have this formula of correlation, Y is equal to A plus BX, Y means the total value. Total, what is the total? It could be total sales units, it could be total sales revenue, it could be total sale production units, it could be total hours, whatever the requirement in the question, we will denote total value with the help of Y. A denotes what? A denotes fixed value. It could be fixed sales per month. It could be fixed sales units per month or per quarter. It could be fixed production overhead. Any portion of the fixed cost or fixed sales or fixed sales unit is denoted by whom? Is denoted by A. Then we have B. In B, B represents variable portion. Either I use variable cost per unit, either I say variable sales per $1, either I could say variable sales per month, I could say variable sales per quarter. It is denoted by B. And X is what? X is activity level. Activity level could be your number of machine hours. Activity level could be your production units. Activity level could be your advertisement expenditure. Activity level could be your number of months. Activity level could be your number of quarters. X denotes what? X denotes activity level. Right? Any question related to this formula? Okay, now we will use this formula in this MCQ. ZPLC has found that it can estimate future sales using time series analysis and regression techniques. So these are part of what? These are part of correlation concept or regression concept, quantitative techniques concept. It is also called forecasting techniques. The following trend equation has been derived. Y is equal to 25,000 plus 6,500 into X. Y is total, 25,000 is fixed, 6,500 is variable, and X is the activity level, which could be number of months or number of quarters. Where Y is the total sales units, as I told you, per quarter, and X is the time period for the reference number. When Y is the total sales per quarter, it means X means number of quarters. X means what? X means number of quarters. Z also has derived the following set of seasonal variation index values for each quarter using the multiplicative model. Multiplicative model means whatever the value y we will calculate with the help of this formula, then we will multiply this value with the percentage, relevant percentage. If we are calculating the sales for the quarter 1, then we will multiply this value of y with 70%. If we are calculating total sales for the second quarter, then we will multiply with this 90%. If we are talking about quarter 3, then we will multiply with 150%. If we talk about quarter 4, then we will multiply with 90%. Further, he says, assuming that the first quarter of year 1 is the time period 1, reference number 1. He is saying that I am referring number 1 to the first quarter of year 1. What would be the forecast sales units for the third quarter of year 7? Now listen carefully. Quarter 1 for the year 1 is denoted by 1 number. It means quarter 2 for the year 2 is denoted by number 2. Quarter 3 for the year 1 is denoted by number 3. Quarter 4 for the year 1 is denoted by number 4. Now, in the second year, quarter 1 is denoted by number 5. You will not start from the 1 once again. You have started reference number 1 for the quarter 1 for the year 1. When you are in year 2, quarter 1 for the year 2 is denoted by 5. It means quarter 4 for the year 2 is denoted by 8. Similarly, quarter 1 for the year 3 is denoted by 9. And then quarter 4 for the year 3 is denoted by 12. And so on. Now we are talking about third quarter of the year 7. Can you tell me what would be the number, reference number of the third quarter for year 7? As I told you that quarter 4 for the year 1 is number 4. Quarter 4 for the year 2 is number 8. Quarter 4 for the year 3 is 12, and so on. Then what would be the number for the quarter 7? Sorry, quarter third for the year 7. Calculate carefully. You have 4 quarters in each year. So first we have 6 years. If you have 4 quarters in each year, what does it mean? 4 multiplied with what? 4 multiplied with 6 years. First of all, 4 into 6 means what? 24 quarters. Straight for the first 6 years. But in the 7th year, he says that you will calculate the value for the third quarter of 7 years. So you will add 3 quarter or third quarter for the 7 year. So in total, we have 27 quarters. So the third quarter for year 7 is denoted by what? It is denoted by 27. Clear, everyone? Value of x is basically 27 for this question. Understood? Any question? Okay. Now we will solve this MCQ. First of all, we will calculate the value of y. Y is equal to, intercept is 25,000 plus 6,500 into 27. So first of all, you will solve this bracket and then you will add 25,000. What would be the answer? Anyone? 200,500 is the total value of y, right? But it is not the answer. Now listen one thing. You have the option B, 200, 500. When you are in the question, you will look at the option and you will say that my answer is correct. I have 2 marks or I have scored 2 marks. You have scored nothing because you may need to make adjustment for the quarter 3, which is 150%. So whenever you are using this multiplicative approach or additive approach, the other approach is called additive model, you will adjust this value of y. So here y is equal to 200, 500. Now for the third quarter we have 150%. It shows that tradition of the third quarter is that actual sales will be 150% of the budgeted sales or forecast sales. So you will calculate 150% or 1.5 times of 200, 500. For which quarter? For the third quarter. Suppose if we are calculating for the first quarter, then we will multiply with the 70. Similarly, if we are calculating for the second quarter, we will multiply with the 90%. If we are calculating for the quarter 4, we will multiply with the 90%. Not only the multiplication percentage will vary, but we will also change the value of x. For the quarter 1 for year 7, we will say x is 25. For quarter 2 for year 7, we will say x is 26. For quarter 3 for year 7, x is 27. If we talk about quarter 4 for year 7, then x is 28. So you need to understand such type of MCQs quite carefully. First very important thing is to understand this formula, y is equal to a plus bx. Then you need to understand the reference number carefully, and then you need to understand this use of percentage. If percentage is not provided, then the question will provide you number of units and you will use additive value, which means rather than multiply by 150%, you will add the given number or given value. Now we have this option, and this option is 300,000, 750. So D is the correct answer. B is not the correct answer, but this option of B is also available in the answer, which can create confusion in the actual exam. So attempt your exams quite carefully. Any question related to this MCQ? Okay. Now we move on to the next question. It is relevant with the index numbers. What would be the use of index numbers? Index numbers is basically relevant with inflation. We also call it consumer price index. Consumer price index means overall inflation percentage or price index in any economy. Or it could be relevant with any particular product as well. It is not necessary that all of the products or prices of all the products will rise with the same percentage in any economy. It is not necessary that price index for all the products will be same in any economy. It varies with the nature of product. Okay, now look at this question. Production overheads cost at company MZ Limited are assumed to vary in line with the number of labor hours worked. The following data has been collected. There are 2 years. Total production overheads are 205,000 and 226,180. Number of labor hours are 4,200 and 4,700. Cost index is 189 and 205. If the line of best rate based on current prices is calculated as y is equal to 127,000 plus 18.6x, once again he has provided you the equation where 120,000, this time we are talking about the total overhead. So that's why 127,000 means fixed overheads. 18.6 means variable overheads per unit or per labor hour. X stands for the number of hours, which means activity level. Calculate the total expected overheads in 20x6 if the expected production activity is 4,600 labor hours. So X is provided in the question and the expected cost index is 225,000. So here data is provided for the 3 years. First year is 204 20x4, second year is 20x5, and the third year is 20x6. We are talking about 20x6. In 20x6 it is expected that index will be 225. In 20x5 index was 205, so it means index is rising by 20 numbers, or index is rising by 20 in 20x6 in comparison with 20x5. So once again here we will perform two workings. First we will calculate y, which is the total overheads, and then we will adjust the value of indexation in the total overhead. So solve first of all y is equal to 127,000 is the fixed overheads plus 18.6 is variable overheads per unit multiplied with your activity level for 20x6 is 4,600. So can you calculate what would be the total number of overheads or total value of overheads? Attempt all of you. Total value of overhead is 212,560. 212,560. Once again, you have 212,560 in the answer. So you will assume that your B is your answer, but it is incorrect. Now you will adjust the value with the index. 212,560 is based on the index of 20x5. Previous year index. Here he says that based on the current 20x5 price level. It means what? Now you need to broad these values or adjust these values with the index number of 20x6, which is 225, and divided by 205, because 212 is representing this value for this index. We want to adjust this value with respect to the recent index number. So what would be our answer after adjustment? Two 298. So you have an option C, which is the correct answer. So once again, there are two answers given in the or two values which can confuse you. First one is this one, 212,560, which is incorrect, and the second one is 233, 298, which one is the correct answer. Right, everyone? Any question related to these values? Okay. Now we are heading to the next question. Once again, it is dealing with the same regression equation, but there now we have two equations. The overhead cost of RP have been found to be accurately represented by the formula y is equal to $10,000 plus 0.25x, where y is the monthly cost, x represents the activity level measured as the number of orders. Okay, so x means what? Number of orders. Monthly activity level of orders may be estimated using a combined regression analysis and a time series model. A is equal to 100,000 plus 30 into B, where A represents the deseasonalized monthly activity level, B represents the month's number. In the month 240, seasonal index value is 108. The overhead cost for the RP for month 240 is. Now we want to calculate the total overheads for the month of 240. But how to calculate this total overheads for the month of 240? Because we have two equations. One equation is dealing with the number of quarters. First, we need to solve this equation. First, we need to calculate number of quarters or number of orders, which is represented by A or it is represented by X. And we need to calculate what? We need to calculate our number of orders. Now, how to calculate this order? With the help of this equation. X or A is equal to constant value is 100,000 plus 30B. Now what is B? B here he says that number of months. But he has also provided us with the adjustment of indexation or seasonal index value. So first we will solve this value and calculate this answer. 30 into 240 plus 100,000. What is the value? 107,200. All of you must have the same value. If you have determined this value, this is not the final answer of X or A, which we need to put in the formula of Y. We cannot put this 107,200 here in X. First, we will adjust this value with the seasonal index value. Seasonal index value of 108 means if you are calculating that 107,200 will be your number of orders, but our trend says that in the month of 240 there could be increase in demand by 8%, which is represented by 108, and it is divided by 100. Whenever there is no base index is provided, then base is always 100. In the previous question, base index was provided for the year 20x5. That's why I use base year or base index 205. But in this question, base index is not provided. When base index is not provided, it means base index is 100. So calculate the value of X or value of A, which we will put in the formula to calculate total overhead cost. It is 115,776. 115,776 is the value of X. Now you can do what? Now you can solve Y. Y is equal to $10,000 plus 0.5 is variable into total number of X or total number of orders are this. So you can calculate the value. Y is 38,000 944. Right, everyone? Any question? Solve this value carefully. First of all, solve this bracket and then add 10,000. Done, everyone? Do you have the same answer? Okay. Any question? Right. Now I am moving to the last MCQ related to this correlation, seasonal adjustment. Monthly sales of product R follow a linear trend of Y is equal to 9.72 plus 5.816x, where Y is the number of units sold, X is the number of months. Monthly deviation from the trend follow an additive model. This time we are not using multiplicative. So we will add the value or we will add the relevant value. The forecast number of units of product are to be sold in month 23. So X is what? X is 23, which has a seasonal factor of 6.5 to the nearest whole unit. So once again, you will use this formula. You will calculate Y first and then you will make adjustment of seasonal variation. 9.72 plus 5.816 into 23. So first of all, solve this bracket and then add 9.72. I think it is 143.488. Then you have the answer of 143, but this is the incorrect answer. You need to do what? You need to make seasonal adjustment plus 6.5. So what is the answer? Almost it is 150. 149.99 I think is the answer. So the correct answer is the 150. Any questions related to these MCQs? Okay, so we are done with the all